One of the biggest mistakes you can make as a man is talking smack about another man in an attempt to mate guard. Long story, we're going to talk about in this video why you never, ever talk badly about another man to your girl. And this is probably the fastest way to make her cheat on you with the guy that you're talking smack with. And we're going to discuss the mechanism behind why. Funny enough, I actually got my very first girlfriend this way because another guy was talking smack about me. I'll tell you the story about that, and we'll go over all the things in this video. Just if you want to skip the entire video, don't do it. If you want to know why, stick around, scroll down, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss all the top secret content like this, right? Okay. Let's talk about... Sorry, I'm just out of breath here. Whew. I just turned the treadmill down a little bit. Why you should never talk about... It's been 60 seconds, I can swear now. Why you should never talk shit about another man. Okay. So basically what this is, why would you talk shit about another man? If you think about it, why do people talk shit about me online? Why do people talk shit about other men in general? Why do people talk shit in general? It's usually because the person that they're talking shit about or to, those people have some sort of lack that the other person doesn't have, right? And women subconsciously know this. So let's say, for example, we'll get into the story about how I got my girlfriend in a sec, but let's say, for example, there's like a really tall guy, and let's say you're a really short guy, and the short guy feels insecure about the height of the taller guy, right? What he'll actually do in that scenario is he'll find something else on that tall guy that he feels like he can pick on to try and devalue the taller man, right? We'll talk about the correct approach here, but this is the approach that most guys take, okay? What they do, so he'll be like, the guy has really bad acne, or like the guy's balding, or it doesn't matter. Just picture, like, actually what the actual reason is of the shit talking doesn't matter. That's the key here. He has torn clothing. He's poor. Like, basically, the shorter male in this scenario, what he's actually doing is he is displaying insecurity and lower value to his woman, to that other man. Here's the thing. The woman, your girlfriend in this scenario, might not have actually seen any of those things about the other guy. She might not have even noticed that other guy until you said something. Now that guy is on her radar. Now she's like, why is my man talking so much shit about this other guy? What's going on here? You basically planted the reverse idea in her head. So here's my story, okay? This was a couple of years after college here. And this girl was kind of like the first love of my life, the 7-year relationship, right? From 20 to 27. And what had happened here is we were all hanging out in a large group of us, like a social circle. And she was cute and single. And this was back in the day when I didn't know any of this stuff. I wasn't like aware of the social dynamics and how this all worked. But actually looking back, I'm like, oh, that's what happened, right? So a buddy of mine at the time was trying to get in this girl's pants for like a couple of years and never got. She was a virgin, funny enough. He tried to get in her pants for a couple of years. He never could get in there, right? She just never felt that way about him. AKA he was needy towards her, right? And then me, I didn't really give a shit. She was cute, but she was very quiet, and I don't know, I just, right? But anyway, I think she started to like me, so she started to hang out more with me she started to come out to the social groups the more that I was around in that social group, right? So my other buddy, he's like, why is this girl always coming out when Jufus comes out? He was like putting two and two together. I think maybe he was more unconsciously aware of social dynamics back then, which actually hurt him in the long run. It didn't actually help him. That's a topic for another video where we talk about when you actually learn this social dynamic stuff, it actually, you have to like take one step back to take two steps forward. So like, you know how like when you first learn about red pill and like what the real female nature is, you get really mad, one step back, and then you learn more and more and more and more, and then you start getting results, you take two steps forward. There are a lot of things in life are like that, right? But anyway, so in this specific circumstance, I didn't know anything, so I was actually one step ahead of the guy that knew more than me. Because he was in the, I know just enough information to do damage phase, right? So anyway, what happened next was she actually told me this after the fact. Dude, I'm not making this shit up. This is fantastic. We're hanging out. I actually asked her out on a date. Because I'm like, oh, this chick's pretty cute. She's funny and all that kind of stuff, right? She's an amazing girl. And then we went out on a date. Ended up in a 7-year relationship, right? And then here's what she told me. And I'm quoting word for word here. She's like, yeah, that other guy, I'm not gonna name names, but she's like, yeah, that other guy that kept trying to ask me out, all he did was constantly say that you're a player and you're a womanizer, and he talked shit about you the whole time. I was like, really? Again, I didn't know what was going on at the time, right? I wasn't a player or a womanizer by any means, man. I think I had like 3 girlfriends before her. Yeah, it was like, I was like 20 years old and I had 3 girlfriends. Like, yeah, that sounds about right. So I'm like, 3 girlfriends is a womanizer? Like, what the hell, right? I didn't actually clue in what was going on. But what he was trying to do, and this is why men's body count doesn't matter either, by the way. What he was trying to do was he was trying to devalue me to make himself look better. Kind of like a blue pill kind of thing to do. Oh, that guy's a player. You don't want him. I'm sure he knows better now. We're both 40 years old. But it's like, where does this sound familiar, right? He's a player. You don't want him. I'm the good one. I'm the good guy. You want me, right? You can't turn a woman off faster than that shit, dude. So anyway, on the other hand, on the flip side as well, why is it the more that he called me a player, the more that she got interested and intrigued? Think about that shit. 2 layers there. A, I'm doing something that makes him insecure, therefore I'm the higher value male, right? Like the one talking shit is the lower value one. The one that doesn't care and the one that isn't aware of any of this is the higher value one. 2, if I am a player or if I am a womanizer, that means I'm pre-selected by other women, therefore more attractive. You know what I'm saying? So there was a double whammy there. So basically, funny enough, that my old buddy talking shit about me was my wingman. He wingmaned me with the girl that he wanted. Do you know what I'm saying? This is fascinating shit, dude. So let's talk about the actual mechanics of what happens when you actually talk shit about another man. Then we'll talk about what you should do and what the answer is. Okay? Now, I just pretty much explained it, but before you start talking shit about another man to your girl, what that basically does is it turns the other, first of all, it actually makes that man part of your woman's awareness now. So that's error number one. You just put him in her line of sight. Women are, you have to think of women as like, I've said this in the last video, but you have to think of women as like reality creatures. They're almost like, this is kind of a weird analogy, but they're almost like horses with like those blinders on to walk straight. Do you know what I'm saying? And like you as a man, whether you know it or not, you are in kind of control of those blinders. So when you talk shit about another man, you just pointed those blinders towards the other man, and now she can't see anything else. And now she starts fantasizing about this guy that you're talking shit about. Do you know what I'm saying? It's your job as a man to keep your woman's blinders on you and on your collective goal together, right? Again, we'll save that one for another video too. But so now you just put that guy in the blinder spot of your girl, right? Second, what she's gonna think is she's not gonna consciously think of this. It's all kind of unconscious. But what she's gonna think next is like, why is my man talking shit about this guy? What does this man have that is bothering my man so much? Let me go find out what it is. Let me just slide in his DMs and find out. It's harmless to just chat. How do you know my man? What's the relation? Error number 2. Curiosity. Intrigue. Brother, you don't understand the damage you do to your relationship or yourself by talking shit about another man. I think, you know, just a side tangent here. I think talking shit about other people in general, whether you're a man or a woman, is quite possibly the most beta behavior that you can probably display. It's very akin to like whining and complaining. It's like a manifested form of whining. That guy's taller than me. He has balding hair. I don't have balding hair. It's so beta, bro. And this is why when guys do this shit, their women run to that other guy. They sprint towards that shit, dude. It's like that guy. Okay, rule number 3. Okay, we'll go to number 3 here. Why is that other guy attracting her now? Because he doesn't even, A, he doesn't even know who you are. B, he doesn't even care who you are. C, he does not display any shit talking or whining behavior of any kind. He doesn't care. The best analogy is like women like to chase their targets. And if a guy is unaware that the girl is chasing him, it makes her want to chase him more. So he's like, so again, go back to this scenario that I had. That entire time that me and that girl were hanging out, I had no idea that my buddy was talking shit about me. It was like months of him talking shit about me. I had no idea. I was unaware of it. Didn't even notice. Didn't even notice is one of your most powerful tools. Well, and then that's going to be how you solve this problem in the end, right? Dude, this is, this is one of those ones where I don't recommend you actually test it because it's so powerful that it will backfire on you like every time. Like just don't test this one. Trust me. What you do, if you ever feel the need to talk shit about another man, And women will test this on you too. Dude, some girls are, I know this one girl, she, man, poor guy. She's so aware of this type of stuff now. She will do this on purpose to screw with the guys that she's dating to test their frame. This last guy that she was dating, he was not a buddy of mine. He was like an acquaintance, I want to say. They both went, and I discussed this after with them. We were in the sauna together, right? And we were discussing about why they were fighting, right? And he was saying that, like, she was talking to another guy at the bar in front of him, and the other guy bought her a drink. And my buddy got really mad and walked out and didn't talk to her and got all hissy-fitty and got all butthurt and shit. Now, there's two trains of thought here, right? There's the justified reaction, and then there's the correct action. The justified reaction is kind of what my buddy did. What the girl did there was very disrespectful in accepting that drink and talking to another man in front of him. It's downright disrespectful, right? What I told him, I literally told him this in front of her too, and she was like, "Jufus gets it." I was like, "Brother, she literally did that on purpose to see if you would get butthurt. There was no other goal there. What you should have done is not said anything and just walked away. If you were upset, justifiably, you don't throw a hissy fit, you just leave. And you just leave her there. And then you say, didn't even notice. Don't care. It's the man who cares less is the guy that wins every time. Now, one step further than that would have actually been to start to, like, not leaving the venue is still kind of beta because then she knows she got under your skin. What you want to do is leave without her noticing. But the real move is to talk to other girls in front of her and pretend like she doesn't exist in front of her. That's the actual play, right? So anyway, I told him all this. I was like, there were other issues there, but I was like, bro, why do you care? Like, so if a woman is gonna play games like that and disrespect, she's sitting right there. I'm like, if a woman is gonna disrespect you and play games like that, who cares? Just move on to the next one. It sounds like her loss. Like, it just, oh, she wants to go talk to another guy? Cool, sounds good to me. So basically, the lesson here, and I guess the lesson in this whole thing is you should never give a shit about anything ever. And this is a hard pill to swallow for guys because it's a paradox, isn't it? It's an anomaly a little bit. On the one hand, this is what the red pill gets wrong. I think this is what the red pill gets the most wrong, in my opinion, because the red pill teaches guys to have boundaries and to display those boundaries and to, like, verbalize them to the woman. And I'm under the opinion that if it gets to the point where, I'll tell you something else my recent girlfriend said to me, actually. Oh yeah, this is all coming back to me now. What they say is you need to display your boundaries. What I say is you should never need to display them. She should know them. It's unconscious. And what I mean by that is, like, you just don't say anything ever, brother. Like, so they'll be like, the red pill guys will be like, You know, if you invest in a woman, then you wouldn't let your girl go out on a girl's trip with her friends because she's putting the relationship in jeopardy. While that's all true, if your girl, so let me give you the actual scenario of how this plays out. There's a guy is living with his girl, and the girl is like, I want to go on a girl's trip with my gal pals. And guy A, the beta male, the guy that's he talks shit about other men, that guy, he's like, you're not allowed to go on a girl's trip. You're gonna put the relationship as jeopardy. I know what happens on those girls' trips. He just did the exact same thing by talking shit about another guy. He's basically talking shit about the girls' trip. Therefore, she's gonna want to go on the girls' trip even more. Do you know what I'm saying? He transformed the girls' trip into the forbidden fruit. Do you know what I'm saying? Guy B, he says nothing. She's like, I want to go on a girls' trip. Is that okay? You're like, okay. You don't say nothing. You don't say nothing. What that frame is. And here, and the guy in scenario 2, she would never even ask to go on a girls' trip. She wouldn't dare, brother. That's the thing. Oh, my treadmill just finished. That's the thing. Think about it. She knows that if she even mentions it or talks about it or suggests it, guy B isn't going to say anything. He's just not going to wait for her when she gets back. You know what I'm saying? Her shits, the locks are going to be changed. The phone number is going to be blocked. And it's like she never existed. Didn't even notice. The next day, he moves on to the next thing. Sorry, guys. I'm getting spammed by phone calls and stuff. But anyway, think about that scenario. Now, my girlfriend right now, I remember the conversation we were having. She was talking about how, here's how far this goes, okay? And this is what I'm talking about. She was really upset that I didn't want to be her or her boyfriend, right? And it got to the point where this problem was bothering her so much that she started throwing like little hissy fits, but she didn't want to talk about the whole relationship title thing. And then when I brought it up, I don't remember, this was a few months ago. I can't remember how we brought it up now. I was like, if this was such a problem, because her mom was bothering her, right? I'm like, if this was such an issue for you, why didn't you just bring it up? It's like, we can just talk about it like adults. It's not a big deal, right? And then you know what she said? She's like, I didn't want to bring it up because I was scared to lose you. In case you're like, no relationship. And I was like, interesting. I was like, that's it. Because, so basically, here's kind of the moral of the story here. It's, again, back to the whole paradox of the situation. You as a man, but this is kind of like the keys to the kingdom is right here. You as a man, you need to like love your girl and invest in her, but you also need to subcommunicate that any fucking step out of line whatsoever means you're gone. That's what, and you don't talk about, you don't say nothing. And for those of you that know me and part of my hardware community, it's the exact same thing. It's the exact same energy and aura that you need to present to all humans. You never talk shit. You never get upset. You never show emotion. When a human grievances you in some way, shape, or form, you don't get mad. You didn't even notice. You're just like, I didn't like that. On to the next one. That goes for friends, girlfriends, family, every human, dude. And eventually, you'll get the reputation, and girls pick up on this vibe. A funny story, actually. We'll save it for another video, actually, but funny story. Usually, when you go cold turkey on chicks, they always come back after like 2 or 3 months. It just happened to me the other day. 2 girls that I completely cut off since May or March or whatever, they slid back in my DMs this month. Because one of them I talked about on this channel before, but why was that? Because they did one thing that pissed me off, and they were gone. I didn't say anything. I literally, you know what? I actually, oh God, we don't have enough time to talk about it, but I met up with one of the girls, and she was like, you know what she said? She's like, I thought you were so mad at me, and I was so scared to message you. I'm like, why would I be mad? She's like, you have no idea how scary you are. I'm like, why? I don't care. It's like, I just didn't like the behavior, so I just don't talk to you. It's like that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do, okay? You need to like strike the fear in them, but playing it off as not a big deal. I didn't even notice. But so again, this entire thing is such an oxymoron paradox. You need to punish them by doing nothing. Does that make sense? And that's, dude, keys to the kingdom here. This will lock women in on you. You do, again, back to all the way to my buddy in the girlfriend situation. The more that he did and the less I did, the more the woman lasered onto me. Do you know what I'm saying? The reason why a lot of guys can't do this is because it actually does require you to have self-confidence and options, or you need to just get to the point where you've had enough bullshit, and I just don't want to deal with that. So if you just do it, I'm not going to put up with it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, enter my frame, or get the fuck out. But where a lot of guys confuse this is they will blow up the girl's DMs with like 7 paragraphs of their boundaries. No, if the second you do that, it's over. You've lost. You never talk about your boundaries. You never display them. You never show that you give it. You have to love your girl and you have to invest everything into her, but never show that she actually has any power over your emotions whatsoever. And if the weird thing is, women need to like respect you and be scared of you at the same time to love you. They need to like be scared of your doing nothingness. Does that make sense? Like that girl I was just talking about, how terrified and how mad she thought I was, where I'm just like, I just stopped talking to her. I just didn't say anything. And I think maybe women are so not used to that they actually I really just didn't give a shit, right? But they perceive that as like a whole new level of like, dude, let me tell you, you know how sweet that girl is to me now? That's the key, brother. I hope this video taught you something about never, ever, ever talk shit about other people to your girl, ever. Never talk about your boundaries. Never display your boundaries. Never display your upsetness or your anger. Never. You didn't even notice. I got that from Michael Sartain, by the way. You didn't even notice. You just move on with your life as if she never existed. And we'll talk about the other things in the future videos. Scroll down, hit that subscribe button, boys. We've got so much deeper content to get into, but I hope this one helped you. All right, subscribe. Later.